Okie doke. Here's how the game went against my computer, supposedly rated 2,500 according to itself, or I don't know who decides that, but it played pretty strong. We both had a couple of hours to make our moves each, so it was pretty close to a 4-hour game. Well, it's a little over 3 hours, I think, but it was spread out over last night and this morning, and um, yeah, it was pretty tough. Anyway, G3, knight f6, basically doing sort of a modern King's Indian looking type deal. I definitely need to study the fianchetto variation for white. I thought that was an interesting move. I'm not sure why he would fianchetto or make room to fianchetto and then not actually do it. I wasted a move here because I really didn't see what I should have done. Probably should have pulled knight to d2 or d7. I'm sorry, knight to d7, and then tried to push in the center. I tried to do more of a classical, bringing the knight over here and trying to push on the b5 square, get pressure on that, and open up the queen side. With that move, he's threatening e5, and then some sort of nasty stuff going on there. So I decided to try to move that knight out, or the bishop out of the way. Let me get out of here. Then I go on developing my attack. He goes queen to d2, threatening my my pawn on h6. I take care of that, and more development stuff here, and then I'm just one move away from being able to do my b5. But from this point out, everything starts to suck. So he moves knight to h4. Now the speed chess player in me is thinking, oh, he's wanting to come over here and take this knight and open up my king side. Plus after that, he'll be able to move his knight over here to c4. No, that's not c4, that's f4. Sorry. Over to f4 and put more pressure on my h6 pawn, in which I'll have to get rid of this bishop, which makes it harder to do my push over here. Well, I guess it wouldn't without his bishop, but I just didn't like it. So I did the chicken way out. I pulled my knight back. And he pushes e5. What a great move. It just makes me jealous. It's like I wish I had games where I could just think of using moves like that. Obviously, unconnecting my pawn, stacking him up, plus he's going to win the pawn over here on c5 and putting more pressure on the square here, and just have some good coverage of the board, and then he'll still have these two center pawns like backing up his whole song and dance. So I attack the bishop. He takes pawn. I probably at this point should have taken yeah, maybe I should have taken this bishop. It ended up being more of a hassle than really needed to be. I took back, gave him a chance to get out of it, which I thought, I didn't like this move from him. I thought it was interesting, but I thought that this was still better for me for some reason because of material. Because I saw he was going to win the exchange, but I thought, shoot, I mean, player this strong and I'm getting, a piece up. And he goes there, which is an interesting little move to lure me, or actually just move my queen out of the way, because I'd kind of like to have my queen on this diagonal. But I can't take it because the bishop to d3 check, surprise attack, and then my bitch is dead. So I moved over. He wins the exchange. Right here, I probably should have taken back with queen in hopes to sort of like reposition on this square. Of course, he probably would have come here, and I would have had to defend this anyway, and it just all sucks. So I took back with bishop, and he's attacking the knight now. Or he's not even attacking the knight, really. He's attacking this pawn down here. and just covering lots of space, unlike my queen. And he trades bishops and does this knight to a4 business, which honestly, I sat there and looked at it a great long while, and I thought I had it figured out. I'm really not sure what the best continuation here is. Torborn, you suggested moving queen to f5 with the hopes of he'll take the knight, and then I can move forward, threatening this mate thingy, and then we'll have to force a queen trade. But it really wouldn't even force a queen trade because he could just move his rook to e3 and get my queen off that diagonal. Once it's off that diagonal, he's perfectly set up to double his rooks. My situation down here looks crappy, especially with his queen would be down here. Just a lot of stuff going on. I couldn't push because his knight can take and all that stuff. So I thought, well, what's worse? I mean, I wanted to hold on to the piece advantage, and so I moved my bishop to reposition it, which was kind of, I don't know if that was a good idea or not. Well, you see, he's getting ready to force me off of this square anyway, and I can't go to d7, e6, or I can go to f5, but you know, there's really nowhere to go. If I move too far away, I'll get taken or I'll lose something. So, whoops, I'm deciding to give him the exchange here. I move out of the way. Still doesn't take it. So at this point, maybe I should have saved the rook. The only way to do that is to move it here to b8 or move it up. And really, I'm not doing myself any favors there because there's no real play for it. So I thought, man, you know, it might be better just to get rid of it and still be a piece up. So here, I figured, you know, if he does take my bishop, at the very least I can save my rook and maybe get some play somehow. And an interesting thing about that move back there was honestly, I should have, if he wouldn't have taken back, I would have taken his h-pawn. You know, not that the computer's going to be this dumb, but seriously, it's just trying to set up position. Like, if the king were to take, then the bishop could come to d6, pinning the queen to the king, and even if the queen took, then I could still bring the bishop over and get something going over in that area. But he's a little too smart for that. And move bishop back. It takes, and this is all pretty much over from here, threatening basically forcing the queen trade here. Now he's just defending properly and keeping my knight from having any good spot to go to. Finally gives me the e5. I finally got to push b5, but now it doesn't even matter because everything's just blown open. Now after he moved d6, I almost figured it was just time to resign. Bishop b4. This was sort of a speed chess. This is sort of the speed chess move in me. I could kind of tell it was over, and so I just went here. It's kind of probably what I would do in a speed chess game. It's kind of blunderish, silly looking move. In hopes that his rook will come over and then I'll fork, or at least I'll have some support for this knight to get in here and check the king for whatever reason. And he just moves there, and I just looked at it for a few moments, and I tried to consider some possibilities. I thought to myself, well, I just can't really do anything. So after rook to e8, I resigned. So that was a good game. It was fun. I learned a lot about the King's Indian. I'm gonna try some new things next time. I should probably keep trying that opening against that computer at that level to see if I can't get a more solid, more active position. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll post more of these types of games. I'll probably share some of my games on chess.com too, because if I keep showing games where I play my computer, I'm always going to be showing how I lose, and I have some really cool wins sometimes that I would like to show as well. So anyway, we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.